Ever wonder why being around people feels like so much work? Isn't going out and connecting with people supposed to be fun and light? Most of us think, well, it's just because I'm more of an introvert. Or I'm already so tired from life, I barely have the capacity to deal with people. Some would also say, it's because of the people. Everyone is judging, comparing, and showing off. It's exhausting. While all of these might be true, there's a deeper dynamic going on with you too. And it relates to three hidden habits. On the surface, we think these habits are helping us, but in reality, we are actively ruining our own experience, draining our energy, and making it harder to socialize. The first habit starts even before you leave the house. Habit number one, we are overthinking instead of just preparing. See, your brain almost always arrives at the event way before your body does, whether it's hours or even days before. At first, you think you're just doing the normal preparation. But what you don't realize is you quickly start slipping into predicting, worrying, setting up standards for how the night should go, and judging yourself. Your brain starts creating imaginary problems. And it starts with an innocent spiral of thoughts. What should I wear? My God, I gained weight. Those pants will look horrible on me. Wait, who's going to be there? Oh, Jessie's also invited. It's going to be hard to avoid her. I'll have to force myself to talk to her. Oh, well, what if I just stood there and nobody talked to me? What if it's not as fun? What if I feel completely awkward? And just like that, the mental fatigue begins. Now, for sure, a bit of preparation is amazing. It's good to want to look good. It's good to come prepared. But once you start overthinking every detail, you're no longer helping yourself. You're quietly exhausting yourself, dreading the outing and feeling overwhelmed to be around people even before you've arrived. So here's what's really happening. When you feed your brain all these scenarios, it goes into overdrive. The more options you give your brain, the more safety checks it wants to run. And this is just the way your brain works. It wants to protect you from any threat or rejection. But the more there is to check, the more exhausting it gets. And then you find yourself saying, you know what? I don't even want to go anymore. And it's no surprise. You just gave yourself 10 reasons to cancel. So, how do we avoid falling into the trap of predicting and worrying? It is all essentially about making things smaller and easier for our brain. I use 3 simple steps to help me. I call them target, help, decision. First, give your brain one target. If you catch yourself spinning out over what to wear or if you're going to fit in, force your brain to focus on a single manageable target. What's one thing I want from tonight? It can be anything. Maybe it's having one good conversation. Maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's simply showing up or just checking it off your list because it's a family obligation. That's it. One simple target. Second, help yourself. If you already know a specific detail usually bothers you, don't just sit there and dread it. Prepare what you need to be comfortable. If you know those shoes might hurt you, but you still want to wear them, put a pair of flats in the car just in case. If you get nervous about making conversations, prepare 3 backup questions you can use. If you get anxious about arriving late, set an alarm on your phone to remind you to leave early. See, you're not trying to control every situation. You're simply helping your future self ease into the experience so you can arrive ready to connect. Third, decide when you're done deciding. Your thoughts need a container, or else they will exhaust you. So give yourself a hard cutoff point to stop worrying and overthinking. Okay, I am deciding what I'm going to wear by 2 p.m. and that's it. Once you hit that cutoff, stick to it and tell yourself, this decision is made, whatever comes, comes. This brings us to the second habit that makes being around people feel a bit heavy. Habit number 2. We are managing the experience, not living it. The second habit that makes us dread going out happens when we are actually around people. You're there and something triggers you. Maybe you start comparing yourself to others, or you suddenly feel hyper conscious about what you're wearing or what you're saying. And before you know it, you turn completely inward. You fall into this weak, hypercritical spot between you and yourself. Other people can't see it, but your confidence privately drops. You stop fully listening, you stop engaging, and you start micro auditing your own performance. My God, I look like the odd one out. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. They probably think I'm stupid for not knowing about this. Suddenly, you lose the most important part of being around people. You're no longer present. Now, most people assume that it's their insecurity that's affecting how they show up. But that's not really it. It's actually your need for control. You're trying to micromanage how people perceive you. And sometimes it goes the other way. Instead of judging yourself, you direct all your attention outward and start assessing everyone, what they're wearing, how they're talking. What we don't realize is judging others is a self-defense mechanism. Yes, we do it so we temporarily don't have to feel vulnerable or less than or like the spotlight is on us. Now, other times when you're stuck in your head, it's simply because you brought a massive load of outside stress with you. You're physically here, but mentally, you're still stuck back at the office dealing with tasks, or stuck at home replaying a fight you had before you left. It's completely normal, but you have to realize you're ruining your own night. You aren't actually engaging or connecting. So, what can you do to be more present and actually enjoy your experience? The secret is simple. When you catch yourself slipping away, you need to deliberately bring yourself back into the present moment. There are three things that really help: grounding yourself, scanning your body, and asking the participation question. First, you need to break your mental loop by engaging your five senses. Actively check in with your environment. What am I seeing right now? Maybe it's the color of the curtains, the bright light, or a picture of a bunny on the wall. What am I hearing? Some laughters, background music. Yeah, that's Shakira's song. What am I smelling? Someone's floral perfume, the grilled food on the table. If I'm eating or drinking, what am I tasting? What am I physically touching? This grounding technique instantly forces your brain out of your thoughts and right back into reality. Second, check your body for tension. When we get stuck in our heads, stress physically locks up somewhere in our bodies. For me, I notice that I tend to stand incredibly stiff when I'm uncomfortable. Notice where you are holding your stress. Are you gripping your glass tightly? Is your jaw clenched? Are your shoulders tight? Find where your body is hiding that tension and consciously relax it. Third, ask yourself the participation question. What am I doing right now? Am I really present and participating? Or am I just stuck in my head, evaluating and trying to manage how I'm being perceived? Because there's a huge difference. You can't fully live the experience while you're trying to manage the experience. Now, one more thing before we move to the third habit. As you're checking in with yourself, don't just check your thoughts, check your energy too. If you're uncomfortable, your energy is low, and you genuinely feel like it's time to go, then excuse yourself, say your goodbye, and leave. Don't drag it, then hate it. Habit number 3. We're lingering on what we think went wrong. The third way we overcomplicate socializing isn't just about how critical we are during the event. It's how overly critical we become of ourselves after the event is over. The interaction is done. You're driving back home, but you're obsessively replaying that one tiny moment. Or maybe it hits you a few hours later. You're standing at your bathroom sink, brushing your teeth, and your brain suddenly plays a specific clip from the night. And the internal criticism kicks right back in. Why did I bring up that topic? Why did I laugh like that? They probably think I'm desperate. Oh, I really shouldn't have said that. My God. Your brain hyper-focuses on one microscopic fraction of the experience and exaggerates it until it completely overwrites hours of a perfectly fine time. When you do that, you become a living example of the spotlight effect, thinking that you're under a giant harsh spotlight, when in reality, everyone else is far too busy worrying about their own awkward moments to think about yours. See, what we need to understand is that this is a completely normal part of our brain's negativity bias. Our brain naturally leans towards remembering the negative details over the positive ones because it's simply trying to protect us from future social threats. But honestly, who wants to go out if our brain is just going to torture us afterwards, right? Well, to stop letting this happen, I use 3 specific reality checks: the friend test, the math, and the counter argument. Let's start with the friend test. The friend test is all about asking yourself, what would I say to a friend if she came to me spiraling over this exact same situation? Usually, we're incredibly graceful and sensitive and forgiving with our friends. So, the idea here is to take it easy and to extend the exact same grace to yourself. Now, when I talk about the math, I really mean do the math. Let's say I said something slightly awkward and that sentence took about 1 minute. But I spent 3 hours at the event. 3 hours means 60 minutes times 3. That's 180 minutes. This means that I'm looking at a 1 to 180 ratio. I'm literally letting less than 1% of the night that I think went wrong completely hijack and erase the other 99% of the night that went well. When you look at the raw numbers like this, you realize how ridiculous it is to give that 1% so much importance. Now, if you still find yourself holding onto it, ask yourself, will this even matter in a week, in a month, in a year? This always gives me immediate perspective. Then comes the counter argument. This is all about reclaiming that 99%. Force your brain to actively list out at least 3 things that went well. Remind yourself of the good conversations, the genuine laughs, and the actual moments of connection. This is incredibly powerful because it actively yanks you out of that negativity and protects your memory of the night. It ensures you don't build up this subconscious wall of dread for the next time you want to go out. At the end of the day, connecting with people shouldn't feel like a performance or a test you need to pass. If you're constantly exhausted by social interactions, stop looking outward at the room, the clothes, or the crowd. Look inward at how you might be overcomplicating your own experience. Stop over-predicting what will happen before you go. Stop trying to manage the vibe while you're there. Stop lingering on that tiny 1 to 2% after you leave. Simply focus on how you can make things smaller, easier, and lighter for yourself. Because you are not bad at being around people. You might just be getting in your own way. If you related to this, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. And always remember, you've got this. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.